Hello everyone and welcome to the Notorious Watchdog series for threats in real estate and in real life. Today, a scam so high-tech it sounds like science fiction. Scammers are using artificial intelligence and attacking our industry. So in this inaugural episode, we are going to expose their methods, look at a few case studies, and wrap up with some preventative measures to help protect you. As always, I'm your host, the Notorious BIC, Stephen Long.
Welcome to the Notorious Real Estate Watchdog. Here, we expose scams and pitfalls to protect the innocent and educate our viewers. With your host, the Notorious BIC, Stephen Long.
Imagine this. You are, as a buyer, nearing closing day on your dream home. And you're getting ready to send the funds to the closing attorney that will be needed to close. On the way to the bank, you get a phone call. The voice sounds exactly like your attorney, same tone, same inflections, maybe even the same catchphrase. They tell you the wire instructions that they already had given you were wrong, and to be sure to use this new information so the funds will deposit in the appropriate disbursement account. So in order to close on time, I need you to get this wire done today. You, being the good buyer, follow their instructions. You wire tens of thousands of dollars to that account. One day later, it's too late. You realize your attorney was a fraud and your money is gone, and that AI technology had taken your money. The one day late part is important. We recently had a case where the attorney was actually contacted by the same scammers to tell them that the closing could not happen on that day and that they would have to push till tomorrow. Because the thing with wire fraud is that beyond 24 hours, it's typically irreversible. So the scammers will try to delay closing and let everyone know that the wire has been sent, but then try to buy enough time for 24 hours to lapse so that the money cannot be recovered. This is not just a hypothetical example. These are real case studies and the following examples of where scammers are actually using this type of technology. I will put the link and the case studies in the comments so that if you want to read the full description and legal case, you'll be able to, but the summarized version is forthcoming. The first one is a case study for a couple in California. They were buying a house. And this one is important because they got what appeared to be a Zoom call from their real estate attorney giving fraudulent instructions, as in the example we just previously discussed. The voice sounded real. The video looked real. And so those buyers did in fact wire their cash purchase funds to a fraudulent scammer, and they lost $720,000. In our second case study, there was a scammer that cloned the voice of a company's CEO. Then they made a phone call and sent a couple of emails to convince a local branch manager to transfer funds as part of a fake acquisition. That company lost $35 million to wire fraud. In our third case, scammers cloned a young lady's voice and then called her mother, pretending that this daughter had been in a serious car accident. The mother, being all emotionally distraught and believing that the voice that she knew on the phone was her child, was told to wire money for bail due to the fact that the accident had put her in jail. And she was hurt and they needed money for the medical treatment. The scammers requested $15,000 and the distraught mother, of course, wired it, thinking she was helping her daughter, and lost it all. In our last case study, there was one in the comments again about a United Kingdom energy firm. The CEO believed he was speaking with his German counterpart for a parent company and that CEO. The scammers used these deep fake voice scams to impersonate him, and they initiated a wire transfer between the two companies. The scammers, of course, intercepted it and that company lost $200,000 to the scammers. Now, I tell you all these things so you can see real-life examples of how these scammers are in fact using artificial intelligence to take advantage of people. They're doing it in real estate, they're doing it personally, and they're doing it professionally. So how does all this work? Well, all the scammer needs is about 10 seconds or less of an existing audio of the person's voice to be able to clone it. They could get this voice data from a social media video that you posted, Zoom, video calls, any kind of public recording, like maybe your voicemail. They clone it and they can make a convincingly similar voice to whatever audio they can get. They will combine your voice with urgent and emotional stories. Your daughter is hurt, someone needs bail, the company is in got to make this quick move. And they will often layer multiple channels, sometimes with phone calls, sometimes follow-up emails, even fake video calls and Zooms, as they're also able to now match the voice with a fake picture of you and make it look like you are saying these things on video. All of this to reinforce their authenticity and to get you to wire them their money. So the Notorious Watchdog is not out there to hopefully scare you to death, but it is to bring awareness. And obviously we've seen what they can do. Now, in this segment, I wanted to share with you what you can do to prevent this. So there are a few things that we can do to help counteract methods of these scammers. Number one, you may want to create a code word or passphrase system. If you're using this in your business as a real estate attorney, or as a real estate agent, or as a consumer, and you have that word agreed upon in person so that it's only between those parties, and they would know that they have to use that word in conversation or prior to your conversation beginning to authenticate that it is in fact them. Number two, always verify via a known contact method. So if you get a call from someone or if you get a message from someone, always go to your known phone number or email to go back to them to verify, hey, did you send this? Did you call me? So if you get a call from a number, don't call that number back. Go find the number that you know to be the one of that business or of that person and call that number back. Number three, always request written confirmation. Ask for secure portals or messaging, not just voicemail instructions or Gmail. So always verify that you can get a good communication source that is secure. Number four, warn your clients early. The wire fraud warnings are in all of our contracts as real estate brokers in North Carolina. You'll find them in the agency agreements, both the buyer agency agreement and listing agreement, and it's also on the contract. Very important not to brush over that. The wire fraud in real estate is a real issue. So warn your clients early before we ever get to contract that if it comes to the point in the transaction that we have to send money, we want to make sure we're aware of these issues and how we can prevent them. Last but not least, number five, train your agents and your admins. Teach them to look for red flags, things like urgency or new bank information, oftentimes poor grammar. So if they're able to watch for these red flags, that may allow them to investigate a little bit further and potentially or possibly prevent or thwart a scamming theme. So in closing, this is not just a tech worry. This is a real danger where real money and trust are being stolen. Be vigilant. Protect yourself and your clients. And if you like this, I'll post a checklist of the wire fraud and cloning protection down below. Thanks for watching this episode of the Notorious Watchdog. As always, I'm Stephen Long, your Notorious BIC. We'll be back next Friday with another episode of what type of scams, pitfalls, and issues that the Notorious Watchdog needs to be on the hunt for you. So stay sharp, stay safe, and tune in next week for another episode.